Hey guys, this is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and today I just got back from work at my local high school for like the lunch and food service. It went good as always, like you may have seen my community tab posts, my selfies, and yeah. So so welcome back to another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be on the 2022 movie that came out earlier this year in February. It actually came out the same day as another film which I went and saw in theaters, and which I also reviewed, Jackass Forever. But this movie is actually going to be a review on this new Roland Emmerich film that came out in February, and that's going to be Moonfall. Moonfall is directed by Roland Emmerich and stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley, Michael Pena, Charlie Plummer, Kelly Yu, and Donald Sutherland. And so this movie is pretty much like a science fiction disaster movie, like a Roland Emmerich film that he works on this movie. And the basic story is about, it follows two former astronauts alongside a conspiracy theorist, it's basically like a guy who does little conspiracy theories, and they discover that the hidden truth about the Earth's moon, and when it suddenly leaves its orbit. Yeah, because they basically discovered that the moon is out of Earth's orbit, and of course the moon is going down into the Earth, and so these two astronauts, including a conspiracy theorist, they all have to try and solve what's causing the moon to go out of orbit from the Earth. And then, of course, and they also discover that there's this little creature machinery type thing that's going on into the moon, in one of the moon's craters, and pretty much, they all have to do whatever they can to try to save the world, from just like in every other Roland Emmerich film. So when this movie first came out in February of 2022, I've been hearing pretty mixed things about this movie. Most of my friends out there didn't really like this movie, and then some were divided. Some kind of liked it, while some find it okay. Well, yesterday I was scrolling through when I went to go on HBO Max. I was scrolling when I first got on HBO Max. I discovered that this movie Moonfall was streaming for free on HBO Max, and so I was like, sure, why not? Sure, why not? I'll just check it out and see what everyone was, see how bad it is, and pretty much it really was a bad movie. This movie was so disappointing, in my opinion. I didn't really like this movie that much. I didn't really enjoy anything about this movie at all. It's just, well, there are some good qualities I have with the movie, of course. This movie was boring at some times. Some people thought it wasn't boring, but one of my friends who commented on my review post, this movie was also underwhelming as well, because we all know this is basically like a Roland Emmerich science fiction disaster movie, and of course, Roland Emmerich's films are hit or miss. Some are okay, some are good, but it's like I said, guys. The movie I consider Roland Emmerich's best film is definitely The First Independence Day with Will Smith, because The First Independence Day is still my favorite Roland Emmerich film, along with The Day After Tomorrow with Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I also rewatched The Day After Tomorrow on HBO Max as well, and I think The Day After Tomorrow I think it still holds up to this day, and I think it's still another good Roland Emmerich film, along with The First Independence Day. I haven't seen Independence Day Resurgence since I heard that movie sucked, and as for 2012, I didn't really mind 2012. I thought 2012 was a pretty decent movie from 2009. But this movie Moonfall, I can say, is probably one of my least favorites of 2022 now that I've seen it, and it's probably what, and so far I will say Moonfall is so far my least favorite Roland Emmerich film. Yeah, but one positive quality I have with the movie is pretty much, my positive qualities on bad movies are always the cast members, the acting itself is pretty decent for the most part, because I know some of the actors who are in Moonfall, like Halle Berry, and there's also Patrick Wilson and Michael Pena. and of course Donald Sutherland, like Kiefer Sutherland's father. Because all the acting performances are just fine. At least that's one good quality I have with the movie, and of course and even the green screen or blue screen itself, like the chroma key, it's like very predictable because because everything is just noticeable when when we get the special effects that Roland Emmerich uses in his films, like like the explosions and like the flood parts. And yeah, because I know we've seen that in other of Roland Emmerich's disaster science fiction films. It's like how like in 2012 you get like in 2012 there was like a little destruction of Los Angeles and the sinking of Los Angeles as well. And of course there was also when Yellowstone erupts, and of course it was kind of like a meteor shower scene. But But yeah, but I can definitely see that some people out there didn't really like this movie that much, and I can also see some people out there didn't really mind Moonfall, but I'm actually glad that I saw Jackass Forever instead, because Jackass Forever was a way better movie that came out the same day as Moonfall, because Jackass Forever was really hilarious. Yeah. Because I remember Jackass Forever was supposed to come out last year, but then it got delayed to this year in 2022. And of course, as of right now, Jackass Forever is still one of my all-time favorite movies of 2022 so far. But we're halfway through 2022, so some changes may apply. So by the end of the year, so yeah, there. So overall, Moonfall was a boring and disappointing movie of 2022 by Roland Emmerich, and I'm gonna give Moonfall 2 out of 5 stars. It was disappointing while at the same time boring. Like, I didn't really enjoy anything, but except for the acting, so yeah. So yeah, if you haven't seen Moonfall yet, then I don't really recommend this movie. I recommend checking out Roland Emmerich's other films that you haven't watched, like The First Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow. And of course, and if you haven't seen Jackass Forever, I also recommend checking out Jackass Forever as well. And if you haven't seen my movie review on Jackass Forever, then feel free to check it out. So there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on Moonfall. And that's going to be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying, goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.